Aloha, beautiful souls, and welcome back to another transformational reading here with Rian. And in today's reading, we are going to take a look at how does your crush see you? Okay, we'll get a sense of like what thoughts are they thinking that maybe they haven't told you, maybe they have, and maybe we'll even find out if they like you back. Ooh, wouldn't that be something? So let's ground ourselves to receive a collective card reading before we dive into the group reading. So deep breath in, center your energy, and open up your heart and mind to receiving these messages, and exhale. Beautiful. Again, deep breath in and exhale. Gorgeous. I loves it. Okay, so let's see what our collective message is for all of us. Comes from Smoky Quartz. Let it go. Okay. So I'm getting the sense here this is just an echo of what we were just talking about. Like, let whatever preconceived notions and ideas you may have about what your crush is or isn't thinking about you, sees or doesn't see about you, whatever. And let's just see from the reading today how they view you. Okay, so just have an open mind with that. I love it. Okay, you never know. You might have some really, really flattering messages and comments come through. So let's start with you, group one. Hello, 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 group one, and welcome to your reading to find out how does your crush see you? What do they think of you? How do they feel about you? All right, so we got this reading starting off with the Earth card. So what I'm getting here is that your crush sees you as a very grounded, very calm person. They definitely see you as someone who's pretty reliable. I'm getting the sense too that your crush, they actually don't see you as like a super dynamic or exciting person, more reliable, someone who maybe has a routine, someone who has like a set way of doing things, who is very stable. And they get this sense of security from you. Like, I get the sense that you don't really keep them guessing. And that can actually be a good thing, right? Again, that reliability, that dependability that they see in you. I also actually see that they see you as a very sensual being. And that doesn't necessarily mean like sexual, okay? Although that could be the case for sure, because those two, sensual and sexual, often go hand in hand. But I feel more that it's like you feel really comfortable in your body and trusting how your body is feeling, how it's responding and reacting to the environment around you. It's like you come off as very comfortable in your own skin. I think that's probably the better way to put it, actually, that you're very comfortable in your own skin here. And that I feel like, you find a lot of pleasure and delight in the senses. Okay, so like when food tastes really good, like it makes you happy. When a song sounds really nice and there's beautiful harmonies and melodies, you really enjoy that. When you're touching things like nice, soft fabrics, you really are enjoying it to the fullest. So that's what I mean by sensual, where it's like you embrace what your physical senses are sharing with you, and the stimuli that they are providing to your body, and your mind. So they definitely see that about you. And I get the sense that they really get a kick out of it as well. Like they like how you really are experiencing life through your physical senses. And I feel like they want to try things too under your recommendation. It's like, oh my gosh, you have to try this ice cream. Like it's so good. And like you really sell it to them. Do you know what I'm saying? Like that's how, in a way, like captivating your experience is in the physical world. Now, let's see what else we have here. Oh my God, this card is like constantly coming out these days. So, Spectrum, be blinded by the light. Um, so, what I'm hearing from this card here is that um, they see you too as someone who can be very like one track minded, very focused in a way, because it's like you're almost like blind to everything else. And I think that goes hand in hand as well with your experience of this sensuality, you know, where it's like everything else kind of just drowns out and you can really hone in on what your body is sensing. Kind of like, you know, after a busy day, a long, hard day at work, like you can let all of that go in a nice warm bath. Maybe with some lovely scented oils or scented candles to just really relax. It's like you just release everything, right? Like when you're eating too, like you just enjoy the meal. You're not worried about whatever it was that happened before the meal or what will come after the meal. You're fully present in that moment, you know, or like when you're listening to music, like you're just surrendering your body to the dancing and the rhythm, or surrendering your voice to just belt it all out. That it's like you really give yourself over fully when you're in that almost ecstatic physical experience here, to the point where it's like, again, you're blind to everything around you. Like you're completely oblivious, you know? I used to get that sometimes with my thoughts. You know, like I would be so into my thoughts that sometimes I'm not even paying attention to the people around me or what people are saying. Like, you are like that with physical experiences and sensations. Blossoming abundance. Ooh, I'm hearing the word life with this card here. It's almost as if, like, they see you as someone who is like a, you know, a child. Like the things that delight and excite you about the world around you is so heartfelt. And I'm getting the sense that your crush, it's like they really enjoy that about you. Like, you know, they enjoy watching you eat delicious food or dance or sing or like wrap yourself in these nice cozy blankets because you just are experiencing so much joy in it, you know? And it's like, you know, there's like that phrase that I heard on RuPaul's Drag Race, like, give me a life, honey. It's like when someone is just in their element and they are just doing their thing. And it's just like, you're getting excited because they're excited, right? Like, I feel like that is kind of how your crush thinks of you and sees you. Like, have you ever had that experience before where it's like you feel excited and giddy because of someone else's excitement and giddiness? Like, it's like contagious, you know? And I feel like that's sort of your energy. And there's a little bit of like a carefreeness about you as well that they appreciate. With this blossoming abundance, I get the sense too that, you know, in your mind, whenever the opportunity arises, where it's like spare no expense. You know what I'm saying? If you want that dish, even though it's the special of the day and it's a little bit more costly, like by golly, you're gonna get that dish, right? If you want that outfit because it looks amazing and the fabric feels so good against your skin and it's like, you know, a little bit on the expensive side, like, doesn't matter. You're gonna go for it. So that's what I feel here, where it's like you are just down for the lusciousness that life has to offer. Okay, horse, freedom. You always have a choice. Yes, I feel like there's this freeness about you in general, you know, where again, you're not so preoccupied with what other people think because you're just so focused on your own experience, what you're doing, what you're seeing, what you're tasting, what you're feeling. And so that gives you a lot of freedom from these restrictions of like worrying, like, oh, what is this person going to think about me if I do this, if I eat that, if I buy this? Like, it's almost like you really don't care about other people's judgments. And that's like one of the ultimate freedoms, right? Where you're doing things for you and you are not being trapped or restricted by other people's opinions or other people's belief on what you can and cannot do, what you should or should not do, that type of thing. So they see you as very free and like you are like living life in their eyes here. And there's like this purity about it. Like I'm seeing with this white outfit now, be blinded by the light, and this white horse. There's this purity about your experience in life where you're so fully present in it. That's what I mean by that purity, where you're like, you're not being distracted or worried or concerned about trivial things, you know? Wow, oh my gosh. I kind of love this energy coming through with you. Group one. Okay, let's see what else we can glean about how your crush thinks and maybe even feels about you. All right? I feel like one more. Ooh, that one like kind of jumped. We'll take it. All right. So what do we have here? We have the Nine of Swords, the King of Coins, the Tower, the Moon, the Page of Cups, and the Eight of Wands. So what I'm actually sensing that I feel like conveys a little bit about where your crush is at is like, I don't really get the sense that they, at this point in time, return your feelings. I get the sense that they're very much intrigued. That's what I'm getting here. They're very much intrigued. I'm getting the sense that they're still trying to figure you out. Like they're still trying to understand you. And there's like a little bit of nervousness about them. We have the Nine of Swords here, and we see this family here that looks a little bit nervous and anxious about what this oracle is seeing. It's the Oracle of Delphi. What the oracle is seeing, what they have to convey to them. So I feel like your crush is still kind of like on the fence about something, you know? I feel like they're a little worried that, you know, if they go down a certain path, like it just might blow up in their face. You know what I'm saying? Whether that's the path of like keeping it just friends or acquaintances with you, or like pursuing it for further. Like they're kind of on the fence. They really, I'm getting the sense that they're just really clueless. Because we have the Moon card, which tells me there's a lot of this like illusion, fantasy, energy kind of playing out in their mind about what could be, what couldn't be, how could this work, how could this not work. Like, I get the sense they don't have a clear understanding of their own feelings towards you or what they want to do. Because we have this moon, and not only that, but we have this moon here, we have all these 7 other moons here as well. So they do feel a connection with you, though. That much I can say for certain, because there's this red thread coming through here. It's like this connection of fate that connects like your pinky to someone else's pinky. So there's this like thread of fate that they feel is why they are so intrigued and drawn to you, and why you catch their eye, and why, if they do spend all this time with you, you know what I'm saying? Why they like hang out with you, why they like talking to you, why they like hearing from you. But there's just this apprehension with movement, and we also have this turtle. So it's like they're really taking things very slow. They're being like super vigilant, super conscious and aware of like everything they're saying and doing right now. So it's almost like I don't think they can relax into any feelings towards you one way or the other. Like the feelings here are still very new, very immature, infantile. And I don't mean in the sense like they're childish. It's just like the feelings are new. They haven't matured yet. They haven't developed. They haven't grown. If they are going to grow anyway, you know? Um, I'm also sensing too that they still maybe carry a torch for someone else, like romantically from their past, and that could be part of it as well. Like, I don't know, for some of you, maybe they recently broke up with somebody, and so they're not quite ready yet to kind of jump back into the dating pool, jump back into the dating game, because it's something like there was some sort of breakup that occurred, and they still aren't over it. They're carrying that torch for their ex. Um, I'm also getting the sense too that they worry a little bit for you because maybe some of your spending habits, like if you ever share that with them, they worry like maybe you're overindulging in some way, and they worry about like your finances, like, oh, should you be spending that money? Is that okay? Like, um, maybe we don't need to go all out when we go have dinner today, or like maybe you don't need that outfit or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think they worry about you because um, maybe in some ways what I'm getting is they're a little bit more reserved than you are. And because you guys are opposites in that way, maybe that's why they're worrying. And I think it's kind of unnecessary. It's more like their point of view. I think you're probably fine with what you're doing, but I get the sense that they're thinking in their head like, oh, I don't know if I could ever do that. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of like where they're coming from. Whereas, like, if I put myself in your shoes and I was in the same situation, I don't think I could handle it the same way. I don't think I could spend that money. I don't think I could order this and that and get all this food and get, like, whatever, right? I don't feel like they have that sense of freedom where they can indulge in some of the ways that you indulge in things. Um, I also get the sense that they see you as very sort of like gentle, right? Because we have this bunny and we have this tortoise here, like very gentle creatures. So I'm seeing that they see you as someone, um, very soft, very kind. Um, like they don't see you as a B, bitch or an a hole. Like they don't see you in that kind of way. Um, yeah, they see you as just in general like a pretty good human being, right? Which is lovely. I mean, that makes sense, especially if you're here on my channel, right? Good vibes only. Um, what is there anything else, Spirit, that needs to be communicated here? Okay, this is really weird. Spirit is saying, like, draw another card. Five of Wands. Hmm. To me, this is talking about the five senses. Yeah. They're, I'm getting the sense that they sometimes feel a little bit of overwhelm around you, um, because they see life through a completely different lens when they're around you. Like you really open up their eyes, open up their mind to all sorts of things. And so I think that's part of the apprehension. You know, I feel like you hold a very um, unique position in their life, and that maybe they haven't ever really met anybody like you before. Um, and so that kind of throws them off a bit, and sometimes they're not sure how to act or be around you. Um, yeah, because you're just so different to what they're used to. Very, very interesting. Wouldn't you say, Group One? Well, let me know what you thought of your reading here, if any of this resonates, okay? Let me know in the comments down below. But thank you so much for watching. This is a fun reading to do for all of you. And thank you for the likes, the comments, subscribing, sharing, and even letting the ads run when you watch these videos on my channel. It like means a lot. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And I look forward to doing another reading for you again very, very soon. So take care, loves. And remember, though, it's never too late for your happily ever after. Hello there, group number two, and welcome to your reading to find out a little bit more on how your crush sees you. How do they think of you? So here, what I'm seeing with this Virgo card is they definitely think you're attractive. I'm getting that very, very strongly. They think you're very attractive. There's this energy of perfectionism around you as well. There's something about like the pros and cons of perfectionism around you, right? Where they see you as like, wow, you're almost too good to be true, that it's kind of intimidating, right? And where it's kind of like, they're like, can I measure up to your standards? And I feel like they think that you hold very high standards, not only for yourself, but the people around you. And so that can be a bit intimidating for them as well, because I get the sense that they definitely don't want to be on the receiving end of disappointing you or letting you down. You know what I'm saying? Um, there's also this energy too of like trying too hard is what I'm getting. Where it's almost like they wonder if you're trying too hard to be well liked, to leave a good impression, to make others happy, to make others feel more comfortable. Like there's that energy as well coming through. Um, but I'm also getting that, again, I feel like there's this, they have this idea of you that's almost idealized. Do you know what I'm saying? Where they're putting you up on some sort of like pedestal, and that's really creating a lot of pressure on their end when they're around you. I feel like they can be a bit self conscious when they're around you. And I don't necessarily think it's anything you're doing. Like, I don't really get the feeling that you're like vocalizing any judgment or criticism of them or the people around you. I think it's just like you yourself, you know, um, are so well put together, you know, that some people feel like they're not up to par when they're around you. Very, very interesting. Someone actually said that about me, like way back in my undergrad days, that, that it's kind of hard to be around people who are so perfect and who are doing so well, because it makes them feel bad about how they're not at the same level. Do you know what I'm saying? So I'm getting the sense that that maybe is similar to how your crush is experiencing you, you know? Thanos, all that I seek is in my grasp. Wow. So they definitely do see you as like a go getter. They see you as someone who's like going places, who's going to be accomplishing things. Like in the comic books, Thanos is like a bad guy most of the time, but you can't really argue the fact that Thanos like got stuff done. You know, like was gathering all the Infinity Stones and like getting rid of half of the universe's population kind of like a scary, mean thing? Yeah, probably, right? Most people can agree that was a pretty bad, scary thing. But the fact that he was able to achieve such a feat when so many other people could not, like, that says something. You know what I'm saying? And so, you know, when what I'm seeing here for you is like you're someone who is definitely above average, no doubt, maybe even excellent, superb as like a human being. And you're going places. Like people expect you to achieve things and make an impact and consistently do well in anything you pursue. And that's like a lot of pressure, right? But you have to be a certain type of person to be able to handle all of that, you know? There has to be some level of like dedication, obsessiveness, one track mindedness, determination, like not giving any cares about what other people think or say. You're going to achieve it no matter what. Like there's something about that strength of character that you have to have in order to be who you are, right? And achieve the things you have achieved. And that's kind of what I'm seeing here, where in some ways it's like people who achieve great things, they don't do it by playing small. They don't do it without breaking a couple of eggs, right? You can't make an omelet without breaking a couple of eggs, is like how the saying goes. So I definitely feel like you are one of those people that you know where you're going, you know what you want, and you're not afraid to make some sacrifices along the way to get there. And that, in and of itself, that sort of drivenness, like that can be really intimidating for people. So yeah, I'm getting kind of that energy from your crush. Is like they're intimidated by you. What else? Door to personal healing and happiness. Yeah, so this doorway to me symbolizes like you know where you're headed. You know that doors are going to open up to you that are going to bring you joy, that are going to bring you exactly what it is you're aiming for in life. Um, and there's like this certainty about the way you carry yourself, that maybe some people would even refer to as confidence. You know, that's the impression that you're giving your crushers. Like you are like crushing it. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the energy that I'm getting here, from you. And I'm seeing this rainbow here, and I'm thinking of like multicolored, and I'm hearing like you are multifaceted, and I'm hearing that you are multi-talented. Um, and I mean, look at all the variety of the plants and the birds and like the life that's here on this image here. I'm feeling like your crush really sees you as someone that's like, wow, you can do like a lot of things. And again, like whatever you set your mind to, it seems like you're totally able to achieve it and accomplish it. Like it's insane, how talented you are. And the thing is, like, yeah, some of it has to do with talent, but I think a good chunk of it really is like your belief in yourself and you getting what you want, going after what you desire. It's like that starts like, you know, like this is what I want and I can do this, I can get this. And I'm not saying you don't have moments of doubt. Like, I'm not saying that at all because that happens to the best of us, right? But you don't really get derailed and you can really like rally and get it together. And I feel like that's one of the benefits of maybe you being a little bit hard on yourself and expecting a lot out of yourself, is that because of that, you are able to achieve a lot of things because you don't want to disappoint yourself or disappoint others. So you really push beyond, some limitations that maybe other people will have. Bear boundaries, stand your ground. I'm definitely feeling this is that confidence, but there's also this like fearsomeness about you where it's like, again, you are going to get things done and you will keep pushing, you'll keep going after it. I don't really see like quitter energy coming through from you. And so people, again, more intimidation energy where it's like, you know, your crush definitely wants to make sure that they stay on your good side, right? They don't want to cross paths with you or cross swords with you. They just they want to see the soft cuddly side of you. They want to, you know, make sure they stay on your good side kind of thing is what I'm feeling. There's also, you know, I'm sensing too that there's this, because you are so amazing and awesome, not only to your crush but to other people, there's sort of this otherness about you, right? It's almost like at times you can feel very untouchable, unattainable, unreachable. Like I'm getting that vibe as well. Um, I'm getting the sense that your crush, like, I didn't want to like jump the gun, but I'm getting the sense that your crush really does kind of have feelings for you. But again, I think they're like kind of intimidated. Let's see what the tarot has to say. Yeah, like maybe we'll get a clearer idea here. So, Knight of Swords. Yeah, they um, they see that you have this kind of can-do attitude where it's like, oh, I know I can do this. I just need to figure out how to do it, right? I just need to learn the skills and the techniques and get the knowledge and the information. And once I have that, I know I can apply, I know I can achieve my results. Like that's how I see this. And they also see you as someone who's very like sociable, where it's like, you know, you can talk to people, you can ask questions, like you're not even worried like, oh, am I gonna look stupid if I ask this question? Like that is not your problem at all. Again, you're more focused on the goal and the outcome. So it's like, who cares what needs to happen on the way there? Like I'm not, I don't get a lot of sense that you have a lot of pride here, or like a big head. Like I don't really get that at all. It's like you want things done right and you want to do a good job. And so you know that takes hard work and you do it, right? That's what I'm seeing here. Um, Very, very smart. That's what I'm hearing here too. Very smart. Like you can absorb information really, really quickly. And intelligence in and of itself can be very intimidating to people, you know? Oh my gosh, and you also have the King of Swords. Like, wow, I was just saying how intelligent you are. This confirms it. Like, you are a smarty pants. Like, many of you probably got really good grades in school, and if you didn't, it's just because, like, the traditional way of teaching people in like public school systems and stuff doesn't work for everybody. You know, there are people who are like geniuses who just don't do well in certain settings, right? Like, I feel like Albert Einstein was like seen as a weirdo and like didn't like he didn't even know how to tie his shoes, right? But he totally understood physics and stuff, right? So I feel like that's kind of your vibe. Like you're super intelligent, whether or not you did well in school. Like no one can deny that. Two of Swords. I'm seeing here that your crush, they really don't fully understand you. Like, yeah, they admire you, and for some of you, that admiration is also turning to like crushing on you back and liking you back, but they really don't understand or they don't see you fully, right? They see this perfect um, image of you, but they don't see like how hard you have to work or sometimes how much you struggle with doubt here and there or overthinking or being hypercritical, right? They don't see you struggle with that. And it's simply maybe because you just don't really show them, right? Or maybe they're just not one of the people that you confide in with those types of feelings. Judgment. I feel like more than anything, it's this word right here. Again, like we were talking about, like they don't want to be judged harshly by you, so they try to be at their best whenever they're around you and they try to show you the good side of them. And, you know, again, I don't know, I don't think this necessarily reflects like whether or not you are a judgy person. This is just their point of view and their experience, you know? Yeah, I think they're really impressed. They're really impressed by you. Two of coins. Oh my gosh, we have bear. Bear, half bear cubs, and bear as well. Yeah. I'm seeing like, okay, so I'm getting the sense here that your crush doesn't know you super duper well. So I don't get the sense like this is like, oh, friends and best friends turn to lovers kind of scenario storyline here. I'm really getting the sense here that they just don't know you and they're, it's kind of like they want to see this soft, cuddly side of you, like little teddy bear, but they're seeing this like mama bear ferociousness, like powerhouse kind of energy instead. And I don't know if you have this side to you. Maybe you can let me know in the comments down below if you do have that soft, cuddly side, or you are more of this like no nonsense, business first, get things done kind of personality. I don't think there's anything wrong with either one. Um, but I definitely get the sense that your crush is really like trying to look for that soft, playful side in you. And see more of that kind of that side of you where it's like just you just let your hair down, right? And you don't, you know, just roll out of bed with like bed hair, you know what I'm saying, and put on some PJs and call it a day. Like they're very curious about that side of you, you know. Oh my gosh, Eight of Wands. That's so interesting. That came out for the first reading, but interestingly enough, in your reading, I get a different vibe from this card. I'm getting the sense that they do like you to some extent. either as a really good friend, or like I said, they're really crushing on you. That like, so this feelings of like interest and like is mutual, because this bird is carrying this torch that's on fire, and then there's all this fire here. So you do inspire a lot of passionate energy in them. No doubt. Um, yeah, if you feel like you catch them looking a little bit longer than you would expect someone to be looking at you, like, you're not wrong about what you're thinking there. Ooh la la pepe, like they are giving you the eye, and I'm getting the feeling like they're hoping that you're not noticing it. But I think since you're super smart, you can totally see it. So count that as a confirmation if you've caught them staring before, that they are definitely having some thoughts about you. Okay, girl. It's making me think of that song Digging on You from TLC. Um, when Miss Chili came to relay that you had a thing for me, the finest thing you'd ever seen, I must admit to you, I heard them lines a time or two. Although it usually turns me off, at this time you have turned me on. Right? Oh my god, you guys I feel like you should totally go listen to that song now. Digging on You by TLC. Total classic. So yeah, I hope you didn't mind my little singy here at the end of your reading, and I hope you really enjoyed it. Let me know what you thought and what resonated with you down in the comments below. I'd love to hear back from you. But thank you so much for watching. Thank you for the likes, the shares, the subscriptions, and letting the ads run. Like, all these little things that all of you do mean so much for me and really go a long way into helping this channel grow. So thank you from the bottom of my heart. Now remember, it's never too late for your happily ever after. Take care, loves. Hey there, group 3, and welcome to your reading to find out more about how does your crush see you? What does your crush think of you? Let's dive right in to answer that question. So we are kicking off your reading with Aquarius. So you are something else in the eyes of your crush. Like, they see you as like one of a kind, super unique. It's like you are like no one else that they've ever met, and no one else that they've like had a friendship with or anything like that. It's kind of like they're, I feel like the vibe I'm getting is like they're thinking like, who are you? Right? It's kind of like you constantly kind of keep them on their toes. It's like you're so different. And in a lot of ways too, like Aquarius energy is kind of like weird, okay? And I don't mean weird as like in an insult, but weird as in like uncommon, or strange, peculiar, interesting, unique, right? So I'm getting the sense like you are like no other person they've ever met before in their life, and it's really intriguing to them, okay? Also, what I'm getting here is like there's something about your mind that is like does it for your crush, where they're like, they ask you a question and they expect you to have like an answer that most other people would say, but you constantly surprise them, where it's like you say something that really has them thinking, going like, huh, I never thought of it that way, or wow, that's an interesting point. Like I feel like that's really how they kind of perceive you, or even like not just with ideas, but I'm also seeing like with the way you dress, maybe the hobbies that you have. Like they're probably like, oh, I would have never pegged you to be someone who was interested in like coin collecting, or I would have never pegged you as someone who does cosplay, right? Like you, I'm feeling this energy of like you shock them, you surprise them, you make them really. It's like you challenge their understanding and their expectations of the world and people in it. Yeah, really, really cool. Really, really cool. Okay, What else? Storm, Unleash the Thunder. Now, y'all know the X-Men are like my favorite superhero team in the Marvel Universe. I cannot wait till they start appearing in the MCU. But with this Storm energy, like Storm, even though she's technically a mutant in the Marvel comics, you know, just like Wolverine, and Professor X and Jean Grey and Cyclops, like all those characters. Back when she was in Africa, when she was in Egypt, in Cairo, she was seen as like a goddess because she could control the weather. Um, and yeah, she's pretty powerful. Like, it's insane. I think she's like an Omega level mutant with her weather manipulation skills. And so, what I'm seeing for you is like, again, your crush really sees you as something out of this world, like almost beyond human, you know? Because again, your ideas, your mind, your view of the world, your understanding of the world, like it's insane. Um, I think too they see you in a way as someone who's very very influential, especially in their life, right? So as a goddess, as one of the leaders of the X-Men, um, and now I think she's like one of like the regent of Araco of Mars, like the planet Mars in the comic books. So they see you as someone who is like an influencer of sorts, right? Like you influence the way people think, you influence the way people see things, and you can be very convincing, right? And so I can get the sense here, whether your crush knows it or not, actually, you are one of the people on this world who are meant to sort of bring humanity into a new era, into a new age, right? Like maybe you can think of it like as a trendsetter, right? You're one of the, you're literally part of the future, you know? Like the way we think about the world, about business, about the environment, about civil rights, about human interactions, like all that kind of stuff. Like you're one of those people that are going to take civilization as we know it to the next level, right? Like one of the people that ushers in a new age. And that's what a lot of people also consider mutants to be, because in the comics, you know, humans are Homo sapien, but mutants are often referred to as Homo superior because they have the genetics and DNA of human beings, but they have that extra genetic factor that allows them to have superhuman abilities. So basically, you know, your crush sees you as someone that's superhuman. Wow. Oh my gosh. Now I kind of want to meet you. Ooh. So what else do we have? Healer of the Ages. Wow. I've been saying wow like a lot on your reading. Like, oh my gosh. um, so what I'm getting here too is your crush. Oh my god, did I say future spouse earlier? I wonder if I did. Anyways, maybe I did, maybe I didn't. But your crush sees you as someone that's meant to bring good into the world. Like they see you again as a force of good, a force of positive change on this planet. And really like I feel like it's because they feel like you've changed them, you know, for in a good way. Um, and you've had such a profound effect on their life already. And so they see like how much you have to offer the world. And I'm getting the sense too that, you know, they're thinking, I wish there was more people like you, right? People who actually care about others. Humanity, Aquarius is the sign of humanitarians as well. Like what's good for the community, what's good for the people. Like how can we take care of everybody as best as possible, right? And Storm is that way as well. A lot of times in the comic books, she's the person who strives to do the right thing always and put her humanity above everything else, and not sort of turn into the people who hate and fear her, and wishes mutants like her never existed, right? And I mean, you add to the fact that she is like this beautiful black goddess You know what I'm saying? Where it's like she probably has definitely had experience. She probably has definitely, wow, that totally did not make sense. She's experienced like racism, you know what I'm saying? And that's part of what helps her have that understanding. When she's been prejudiced against, when she's been hated, she knows what that can do for people, and she believes in a better world. And I feel like that's part of your energy, and what your crush, I could see, actually admires about you is that you have faith in a brighter, better tomorrow for everybody, not just you. Cougar, confidence, be bold and take charge. Yeah, I have to say too, like, if if you are a person that kind of like stands out and is unique and is different, you have to have a level of confidence about you in order to really honor your authentic self and not be discouraged, disheartened by people who don't get you, you know? Um, and I'm getting the sense too, it's like people who are in the old way of thinking, old school thinkers who maybe judge you and tell you, like, you can't do this, you can't be that, like, you're so young, you're so naive, like, whatever they're saying to you to kind of bring you down. And like, you're not having it. Like, there are people who just like, oh, it's just always gonna be this way. Like, the rich get richer, the poor get poorer, and there's always gonna be racism, and people are always gonna hate us and want to hurt us, and da da da. Like, right? They're just kind of in this dreary, like, pessimistic state, and they sometimes say things to people like, I don't even know why you bother. Like, it's never gonna work anyway. It's never gonna happen. And like, you don't get brought down by that. You have confidence in what you're seeing. You have confidence that things will get better. You have confidence that this is like the way of the future. So again, remember we were talking about influencer? Be bold and take charge. You are like a leader, and I'm guessing, like, I'm getting the sense too, like, you really wow your crush. And I'm wondering if they like have feelings for you, because we got sort of a idea of that with the other two readings. So I'm curious to see what yours says. So this card showed out here with the Eight of Coins. So the Eight of Coins right now is speaking to me a little bit about time and a little bit about patience, right? And a little bit of a rough road ahead, on the path to healing, on the path to wellness and goodness and advancement, right? So I'm seeing here that, your crush can definitely appreciate like the struggles that you've been through, and I'm sure they even witnessed it and seen some of it, of how people maybe judge or criticize you or try to put you down or whatever. So they see that, but I also sense that they see this resilience about you, where you are are not going to be brought down. You're not going to let other people destroy who you are. Seven of Swords and Ten of Coins. Interestingly enough, what I'm getting with these two cards here is that your crush is kind of seeing you as someone who makes a living and can earn money in very, very non-traditional ways, very unique ways, right? Like, when I was younger, like, it was never a career choice to be like a social media influencer and like hop on YouTube, and some people on YouTube are making like over 100K a year on their YouTube channel. Like, that was never a career option when I was younger, but more and more people are doing that type of thing. Or like running my own business. Like, that was never a thought to me. Coaching people on spirituality and law of attraction, like, I had done that, but that never crossed my mind before, that I could make money that way. And so I feel like for you, like, you see the whole world and obtaining resources in a whole different way. Most people, they're just programmed to go to the grocery, right? But maybe you're one of those people that have just a way of like growing your own food, and you can grow it really well. Like, I'm thinking of, I saw this on Instagram before and I thought it was like the coolest thing. It was like this white column that had these like sort of like holes in them where you could put like potted plants in. And then it had this self-irrigating system, and like plants would grow on this vertical garden rather than like garden on the earth. Like I could totally see you as one of those people having something like that, you know. And I also saw this device, like, oh my god, this was like a couple years ago now, where it's like you just put some peanuts in it, so like almonds, cashews, I think even macadamia nuts, and then the device like turns it into almond milk, cashew milk, macadamia nut milk. Like I can see you as having those types of things. So not just like making money, like I don't know, as an influencer, as like a social media manager, virtual assistant, like whatever unique ways you can make money. Maybe even investing in like NFTs, in cryptocurrency, like that kind of thing. Like you're finding innovative ways to make money and create resources for yourself. I'm doing this, I don't know, like there's this infinity sign. Maybe because you're really good at recycling and like reducing waste and using everything when it comes to like a product and whatnot. You know, it makes me think of like the Native American tribes where they don't waste any part of the animals that they hunt down, right? Like I'm getting that vibe from you as well. And maybe you're not that person either who's like, let me just buy like a big old traditional suburban home. Like maybe you're more into like the tiny homes or like being a digital nomad, right? Like your way of living is very sustainable and very unique. Okay, we have King of Swords. This actually came out with reading two, interestingly enough. Three of Cups and Two of Cups. Okay, there we go. Your crush definitely has some feelings for you. I don't know how intense or how strong they are. I think it's gonna vary, to be honest, because we have the Three of Cups, which shows some friendship as well. So they could have feelings for you, like deep, deep friendship, like they have that strong connection in that way. But for others of you, it could also be like love, romantic feelings as well. So I think it can go either way, to be honest with you. But even if they do see you romantically, they still see you as a friend. So it's like, for many of you, they see you as a friend, they like you in that regard. But for others of you, they see you as a friend and more, and a possibility for more as well. With this King of Swords here, I'm seeing that you are like a whole nother level of intelligence to them. Like there are people who are book smart, right? And then there are people who are street smarts. But I feel like there's something different about your kind of intelligence, where it's like you just see things and you just know things inherently. It's almost like I wouldn't be surprised if you were some type of channel or a medium or psychic even, right? If you have some of those abilities, like I wouldn't even be surprised if that were the case, because your crush is definitely like, how on earth could you know that? Because this King of Swords is a mythical creature. It's the griffin, right? And so there's something very magical about your intelligence. Okay, again, it's not that type of intelligence where you could sit down and do like an SAT exam or like one of those bubble sheet tests, a standardized test, and be guaranteed to do well in. It's like a intelligence that goes beyond that. Like it's a deep knowledge, you know, and especially in areas of expertise for you, maybe areas you've studied. It's like you have a deep understanding of stuff. It's not superficial knowledge where it's like I'm just reiterating facts. It's like you take the information and you synthesize it and you share something that can often be seen as uniquely you. Okay, so all this talk about your intelligence and stuff makes it very clear to me now that your crush really likes your intelligence. Like intelligence to them is a very attractive and sexy quality, and you have it, hun. So I don't know whether it's friends or more than friends even, they definitely do like you, okay? So let me know your thoughts. Let me know what resonated with you down in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. And thank you so much for watching. I really, honestly, truly appreciate all the support you show the channel with watching the videos, liking them, subscribing, letting the ads run, and even sharing them. Like all of those things mean so much. So thank you from the bottom of my heart. Now remember, loves, it's never too late for your happily ever after. Ta-ta!